The Quinkins is an Aboriginal story from Australia.
In the beautiful Cape York Peninsula country in Australia, there were two kinds of Quinkins, the Imjim, who were bad Quinkins, and the Tamara, who were good Quinkins. It's not surprising that the Yalanji feared the Imjim Quinkins and loved the Tamara, who protected them from the Imjim. Nor is it surprising that all the grannies of the Yalanji tribe would sit around in the safety of their caves in the evenings and tell the children stories about the Quinkins.
Now, Leolin and Moonby, you are old enough to learn about the Quinkins, the bad Imjim and the good Tamara.
What do Quinkins do, Grandma?
To know what they look like is more important. Then I can spear one if I see it.
You couldn't spear a dead jellyfish. Anyway, I asked Grandma first. What do they look like, Grandma?
Well, you very rarely see them, Leolin. They don't show themselves to the Yalanji people very often. But the witch doctor says that the Imjim are small with fat bellies, long ugly teeth, large heads and claws.
I'm not scared of them.
And they steal children and take them to their cave in the great red mountain called Boonalby.
I am scared of them.
Oh, you're a scamp.
Don't worry, Moonby. I bet even grown-ups are scared of Imjims.
All Yalanji are scared of the Imjim. So are all the creatures of the bush. Only the Tamara aren't scared.
Will the Imjim come into the cave? Right here and take us?
Not now. The witch doctor's ordered drawings of them made on the wall. The drawings are magic to stop them coming into the cave.
What do we do when we're outside?
Oh, beware of their tricks and hope there's a Tamara watching over you.
Are the Tamara always friendly?
Always. But they like to play tricks. They think it's funny.
Then I'll play tricks on them. I think it's funny too.
Grandma, what are the Tamara like?
Same as the Imjim, I suppose, only they don't hurt you.
They're not at all like the Imjim. Tamara are very long and very thin. So thin they can live in the cracks of rocks. But they're as high as trees.
I don't think I'll ever go far from the camp ever again.
Well, now you're old enough to go further. And that's why I told you about the Quinkin. You can go further away now. But make sure there are people about.
That night, both Moonby and Leolin lay awake for two reasons. They couldn't stop thinking about the Imjim and Tamara Quinkins, and they were frightened to go to sleep in case they had nightmares about them. But the morning was beautiful and looked as though things like Imjim Quinkins didn't exist. So, after breakfast, the children decided to take a walk in the scrub. They'd not been gone very long when they met a member of a hunting party with a dead kangaroo on his shoulder. Except that he wasn't a hunter at all, but an Imjim in disguise.
What are you young ones doing so far from home?
We're not that far. We only left a little while ago.
Oh, you can travel a long way in a short time on a day like today. And no wonder your father's calling. He must think the Quinkins have got you.
I can't hear him.
Nor can I.
Oh, listen very carefully.
I can hear him now.
So can I. He seems to be up that way.
What would he be doing up there? That's where the mountain is. Boonalby.
He wouldn't go there. The Imjim would get him.
Oh, not the brave Warrenby, your father. He's too smart for the Imjim. More likely he's caught one of them and wants you to have a look at it before he hits it on the head with his nulla-nulla. Well, off you go. And hurry.
Oh, we shall. Thank you.
Well, it's the least I could do for two good-looking children like you.
Goodbye, and thank you again. Come on, Moonby.
Yes, children. Go towards Boonalby and look for your father. And I'll make myself invisible and join you. Be with you all the way. Just to make sure you don't get lost.
You didn't know one of the Tamara Quinkins was about, did you, Imjim? Just as well I was here. I'll stay invisible, bad Imjim, and follow too, to stop you taking the children to Boonalby.
Leland,
What?
there's a lagoon. What if we find some tortoise eggs, or even a tortoise? We can make a fire and cook some food.
That's a good idea. I'm hungry too.
And I'm hungry too. And while they're getting food, I'll go back and wipe out their tracks. Then I'll get myself a feed of nice green frogs.
While the children went food finding, and the Imjim frog finding, and wiping out their tracks, the Tamara Quinkin kept watch. There wasn't much he could do about the tracks. Even creatures with a gift for doing a bit of magic find it pretty hard to put footprints back once they've been wiped out. But all the same, the Tamara didn't intend to let the Imjim have it all its own way.
Oh, I've eaten so much, my belly looks like an Imjim's belly.
Moonby, that's disgusting.
I think it's very funny, but children always make Tamara Quinkins laugh. That sly Imjim is still eating frogs over there.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious. Now let me grab a few more out of the water.
While that disgusting creature's slurping down those frogs, I'll give him the kind of fright he deserves. I'll just reach out my long, skinny arm, which he thinks is the branch of a dead tree, and I'll jab him right in the back of the neck, like this. He won't trouble the children for a while now, but other Imjims might. I'd better follow.
Leland,
What's the matter?
I can't hear Father calling anymore.
Neither can I.
When did he stop?
I don't remember.
If he was really worried about us, he wouldn't stop calling, would he?
Then it wasn't Father.
Have you been thinking that too?
Yes. And I was going to say to you, instead of going on, let's go back.
Why? Do you think it was a Quinkin Imjim?
Grandma said they were very clever.
I think it was an Imjim, so we'd best go back like you say, Leland. Come on.
By now, the children's absence had been noticed back at the camp, and Warrenby, their father, who'd been nowhere near Boonelby, became very worried and went looking for the children.
Children! Where are you?
There it is again. Father's voice.
Only this time it's behind us.
Then I'm going the other way. It's not going to trick me.
Leland! Moonby! Children! Oh, I've searched everywhere. Surely they wouldn't go towards the mountain. But wait. What if an Imjim's tricked them there? I'd better go that way.
Now they'll never trust their father's voice. What am I going to do? How can I save them? I'd better keep following them.
Moonby, look at those dark caves ahead of us.
I bet Imjim Quinkins live there.
Leland! Moonby!
That's Father. That's his real voice. Father! Father!
Children! Children!
Father, what's that?
It's an Imjim calling to the others. We must run.
They're all around us. We're trapped.
They are really trapped. There's nothing I can do. There's Imjims everywhere. I must do something. I can't desert those poor children and their father. I'll call the Tamaras together. Oh, Tamaras, to me! Tamaras, trouble!
I can hear the Tamara's war cry. Now's our chance. We must run for it. Follow me.
Warrenby and his children ran for their lives, leaving the Tamara and the Imjim to fight it out. So Leland, Moonby and their father were all saved. And when they got back to the cave, Moonby told the witch doctor all about the adventure.
We will paint your story on the wall of the cave, Moonby, for all the Yalanji people to see, and for the Yalanji storytellers to tell about for as long as the Yalanji last.
There's another story about Quinkins. It's the story of Taramali, the most terrible of all the Imjim Quinkins. He even towered over the hills as he stomped about looking for food. Leolin and Moonby and their parents heard it one day, just after Warrenby had speared a kangaroo, which he was carrying over his shoulder.
Father, it's Taramali. What are we going to do?
Your mother and I will draw him off.
Father, can't you spear him?
No, Moonby. Other men have tried. He's too big and too tough. You children hide in a hollow log. We'll be back for you in the morning.
It was warm and cosy inside the log, and the children slept until the sun was over the cliff above a lagoon, and kookaburras were calling.
Moonby, wake up. It's morning. You can hear the kookaburras.
I'm thirsty and hungry.
There's no sign of Taramali.
You mean we can go and get a drink?
Yes. If he comes, we can run back here.
All right, and who knows? While we're down there, Mother and Father might come back. Water lily bulbs.
The water's beautiful. What are the water lily bulbs like?
Good. Here, have one.
Thank you. They're lovely. Moonby, listen, it's Taramali.
Let's get back to the log.
We can't. Taramali's walking that way.
Then we must climb the cliff. He's too big to follow up those ridges. We'll be safe up there.
Now, at the bottom of the cliff lived two Tamara, who'd been watching what had gone on, and they wanted to help.
It'd be nice to help them, but, well,
You're too scared.
I'm too scared.
Taramali's enough to scare any Tamara, Quinkin. What's happening on the cliff now?
Moonby's helped his sister over the ledge at the top. Oh, no.
What is it? What's happened?
They think they're safe. They don't know Taramali knows an easy way to the top.
Oh, and he's taken it. He's at the top.
Moonby, look out! It's Taramali!
There's nowhere to go.
The children turned to run, but as Taramali reached out to grab them, they stumbled and fell off the cliff.
Quick, we can catch them in our long arms. You take the boy and I'll take the girl. Don't worry, children. We've got you. You're safe.
Taramali's fallen too.
And that was the end of Taramali. From then on, the only heard around those parts came from frogs.